Huge news from Verve. The 30-day free trial is back. If you have not checked out Verve, now is the time to check it out. The link is down below. Plus, tons of new content, not just anime, but now there are new documentaries on there, as well as independent movies from Mubi and Curiosity Stream. Plus, offline viewing will be available. Watch all your favorite anime, subbed and dubbed, and tons more on Verve. The link is down below. Don't wait, get it now. So we're talking about the last episode of Dragon Ball Super for the year 2017. That's right, folks. There will not be a Dragon Ball Super episode next weekend. Remember this. There will not be a Super episode next weekend. Super comes back January 2018 after this week. This is the last episode of the year. I want to remind everyone, because some folks are going to be asking next week, why is there no Super? No Super for the end of the year. The next episode of Super will air on January the 7th on Fuji TV. Okay, but no worries, because I will still have tons of videos going up on the channel to entertain you. So this week we're talking about Dragon Ball Super episode 121. The Japanese title for this episode is a little bit tough to say because it's kind of long. Soryo-sen, Kaikyu Kuno Yotai Gatai Bases Dainana Uchu Sokoge. Alright, that was cringy, but I did the best I could. That's a long title. It translates to All Out War, the ultimate quadruple merge versus Universe 7's full-scale attack. That is a long name. Might be the longest one of all the series so far. And I want to make a quick correction on something that I said last week during my next episode preview breakdown. And that is that, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of the Mandela effect, which is where you think something happened, but it actually didn't happen the way you remember it. So I watched last week's episode of Super 2 times. And I distinctly remember in my brain Gohan eliminating the Universe 3 Megazord. I swear, both times I saw the episode, I could have sworn that he was tossed out, but he actually wasn't. And it was mind-boggling because somebody had to DM me and tell me to go watch it again, and I did. And there he is at the very, very, very end of the last episode, of episode 120. So that is weird because obviously when you watch a show subtitled, you're going to miss things. But that's weird that my brain actually created something that wasn't actually there. I don't know. I mean, I saw the Kamehameha. I guess he was thrown out. So my mistake on that one, I don't think it's ever happened before. I've missed things here and there when it comes to Dragon Ball Super, but I've never actually added something. Maybe, I don't know what happened. It was a Mandela effect. But anyways, no. The Megazord, as we call it, from Universe 3 is indeed not eliminated. And that's going to lead to the major plot of this episode, which is Dr. Pepperoni fusing with this thing, hence the name Quadruple Merge, to create the very large and scary looking Ani Raza. And this would be the opponent for Universe 7 in this episode of Dragon Ball Super. So as far as the episode goes, you know, 2 weeks ago, Dragon Ball Super was straight trash. Last week, it was kind of a fun little action-packed episode. This week, this episode might be one of my absolute favorites of Dragon Ball Super. And I'm not going to lie to all of you. I was kind of, you know, you could tell from my reviews that I was kind of hoping they would move along with this. I want to get to the story, you know, let's get to the big finale here. And I was kind of like getting kind of bored, you know, to be honest, especially with that episode 2 weeks ago. But this episode was so much fun because there are things that happen in this episode that I've been wanting to see from the Tournament of Power from the beginning, and we haven't seen it until this episode. There are things that were in this episode that were such really awesome homages and tributes to Super Sentai, to Power Rangers. We saw a few weeks ago they had the Ribrianne episode where she got giant. That was like a tribute to the magical girl. That's what she is, and they do get giant, folks. Here, this really felt like an homage to Power Rangers, to Super Sentai, but also there was so many great moments in this episode. The majority of the episode was just action, and there are a couple of unanswered questions that I am kind of scratching my head about, which is a criticism, I think, of this episode, but not one that's going to ruin the episode, in my opinion. So, yes, Dr. Pepperoni does fuse with Koichinator to create Ani Raza. And they kind of did it, I guess, I initially thought was as a tribute to like a Godzilla type of giant monster fight they wanted to do for Dragon Ball Super, but I really saw it being more like a Power Rangers type thing, in a sense, because the Universe 7 fighters don't have mechs to fight this thing, so it was kind of like just monsters against, you know, fighters. Because, you know, in Sentai they fight giant fighters, and the thing that I kind of was scratching my head about was, when Dr. Pepperoni fuses with, the Megazord, it doesn't look like a fusion. Like, he just literally gets up as the episode begins and just like smiles, and they just fuse to become one. And we know that the Cyborg is metallic, he's kind of a humanoid, flesh and bone, and they create this monster, and I just don't see how they look at all alike. I don't see it. I don't see how they look alike whatsoever. I had thought that maybe Ani Raza was something that he conjured up, but no. I don't see it. Now, a lot of folks are making comparisons to Hachiak, and some say he looks a little bit like Cashman, which is another Toriyama manga. I see the Hachiak comparison. And if you're out there and you don't know who Hachiak is, I have to make a whole other video about it. If you've ever seen Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans or Plan to Eradicate the Super Saiyans, you'll know. Or if you play Dokkan, you'll definitely know. And if you haven't seen the special yet, the second special is a part of Raging Blast 2. I'll explain it in a different video probably because it's kind of complicated, but Kanzenshu has a great article on Hachiak, so definitely check that out. So anyways, again, he jumps up in the air and fuses with this. They fuse, look nothing alike. So he attacks everybody in the arena, and the Universe 7 guys all dodge. But it's funny because as he's firing these blasts, one is going right for Jiren, and Jiren just disintegrates it. Like, in a moment of true alphaness, he just disintegrates it. So I'm so happy that they did incorporate the Universe 11 guys in this. I was hoping and wondering what would happen. So, credit to them for doing something new. Vegeta tries the Big Bang attack, and Ani Raza just knocks it away like nothing. And then we quickly find out that Ani Raza is not only strong, but also very fast. Ani Raza's like pounding dudes in this episode. Pause. He's pounding the fighters in this episode, and it's almost like they're doing like a Great Ape thing, which was pretty awesome. The arena's totally wrecked. Like, it looks like a mountain range. It's just totally just like completely wrecked from what it was when this thing first started. So Goku goes into Red God form. The fighters all surround him, and this is what I wanted to see. Earlier on in this review, I talked about how this episode's going to give you things you want to see. One of the things that I think this episode, again, it's just my opinion, one of the things I think this arc has been lacking is that I don't think we've seen enough teamwork from Universe 7. We just haven't seen it. And this episode gives you teamwork. They actually are working together to try to take out Ani Raza. Like, literally everybody comes in there and they're working together, except for Frieza at first. And they even have a line right from the Hachiak OVA where they say, we have no choice but to attack together at the same time, which is right from the Hachiak OVA. They took that line right from there. And I just wanted to see more of this earlier in this arc. I really do. Also, 17 figures out that he can sense. It's kind of hard to explain, but, I'm going to watch the episode again, see if I can pick up more of it. He talks about how their energy can be sensed because of the vibrations in his ears. Very weird stuff, but I'll watch the episode again to kind of pick up on what he's talking about. So Goku gets rocked, he gets flattened. Then, as if things weren't hard enough, this Ani Raza dude is tough, bro. He starts doing the Janemba move where he's punching the air and creating mini portals. Remember when Fat Janemba was doing that in Dragon Ball Z Movie 12? He's punching holes, and the holes are attacking the Z fighters. And they even have a scene, this is again more of the stuff I wanted to see, where he hits Goku, and Goku in his God form is about to get eliminated. He is flying out, and then Frieza saves him. He is literally on his way out, and Frieza knocks him back in because Frieza needs him. This is what I wanted to see. I've been wanting to see more Goku and Frieza interactions. I've been wanting to see Frieza get serious and have these guys work together, and this episode gave it to me, and it didn't bore me once. Later on in the episode, well, actually, before I get to that, so they have this thing with 18 where Ani Raza grabs 18. He's about to eat her. He's literally about to drop her into his mouth, right? And Goku teleports in to save her. And then they have this sequence where he fires these ki blasts, and the ki blasts sort of break up into smaller ki blasts. And Team Universe 7 is doing their best to kind of bounce back. And this is when Frieza actually gets involved. So 17 gets rocked. He's on his way out of the arena. But then 18 comes in, grabs him, and sort of kicks him, like propels him with her legs from his back into the arena. But as a result, she is eliminated because you can't fly. So Android 18 is out, and she saves 17. This was a great moment. I love that she sacrificed herself to put him in because she knows that he is the stronger of the two and that they needed him to beat Ani Raza, and they were right because he was the key to winning this. God, I love this episode so much. I really enjoyed this, guys. I really did. So We're now down to 5 in Universe 7. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Frieza, and 17. Then, just when you think things couldn't get worse, Raza grows wings. He can fly now. And he creates this gigantic red ki blast. This thing was freaking huge. So everyone powers up. Goku, Vegeta go to blue. Frieza goes to golden. Gohan goes to ultimate. 17 powers up. So he fires the blast, and literally all 5 dudes come together to block this. 5 dudes come together. Pause. All 5 of these dudes come together to block this move. So you're seeing these ki blasts from all 5 of them. And we're finally seeing some teamwork, like a rainbow. It's like a rainbow effect here. And it's just like in Super Sentai and Power Rangers when they come together and like blast their beams together to fight a monster. It's the same thing. There's so many homages here. 5 against 1 big monster. This was humongous. The entire arena shaking. Really cool stuff. So then 17's like, no, I gotta do something different. He creates a barrier, tries to push the blast back, but actually ends up going through the blast with the barrier protecting him, and punches Raza on his forehead, where it's like a red crystal forehead. He gets knocked back. His forehead like cracks, which I guess is the source of his power. He's stunned. They push Raza back. Then, this is weird. This is another one of those things that doesn't make any sense to me. Raza explodes. Like, they don't show him like falling out of the arena. I didn't see that. He just like explodes, almost as if he died. Again, probably an homage to the Power Rangers, because the monsters just blow up when they lose. And then all of a sudden they show the different parts of Raza, Pepperoni and the robots on the sidelines, and Zeno starts to mark all of them off the God Pad. So Universe 3 is history. Zeno deletes them. 17, of course, did great work here, but now the Pride Troopers step up, and going into the next episode, which is going to be airing the first week of 2018, the Pride Troopers against Universe 7, 3 against 5, and we have our big tease of Goku versus Jiren as the episode closes out, and the next episode preview shows Vegeta versus Jiren. Now, one thing I also wanted to quickly talk about here when it comes to this episode was something weird happened. So the God of Destruction of Universe 3 is Moscow, which is the big robot that kind of looks like the GT character Rude or Lude. You know, it was weird. So they reveal in this episode, right before he gets deleted, that that's actually not his real form. It's hard to explain, but I guess there was like a little pink guy inside of the mech controlling him, right? Like, and I had originally thought, and also based on all the different, bios that had come out, I had thought that he was just like artificial intelligence, like he was actually like a cyborg, thing. But no, there's actually like a small dude who's like a small guy, looks like Shizami, controlling him. And that was kind of a weird twist. Like, that kind of caught me off guard, and I had to do a double take. I asked a couple friends of mine if they saw it too, because I thought maybe I was losing my mind when I saw this, but no, that was actually there. So overall, this episode had great action, great storyboarding. I thought it looked great. I liked Raza as a villain. He was really tough to beat. I liked that everybody had to team up. I liked the 18 sacrifice. I liked Frieza in this episode. This was my favorite Dragon Ball Super episode that we've seen since episode 109 and 110. And I'm really excited to see what happens next episode in 2 weeks. Remember, no Super next week. Super will be around in 2 weeks when we get Jiren facing apparently Goku and Vegeta, and it looks like Vegeta gets a few hits on Jiren. And the most beautiful thing about it is that the overlord of animation himself, Yuya Takahashi, is going to be animating it. But I'm going to do a next episode preview breakdown on this channel probably tomorrow, and we'll talk about all the different visuals and how beautiful it's going to look, because Takahashi is great. I mean, you should know by now who that is. If you're new to the channel, though, I did a video called Why Did Dragon Ball Super Episode 114 Look So Good? And that was Yuya Takahashi. So he's back. It's going to look great. Very excited about Super again. I was losing, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of getting a little impatient, losing a little bit of interest, but now I'm back in the game. This was a great episode. Had a lot of fun watching it, and I really look forward to next week, as we are now 9 minutes away from the end of this Tournament of Power. Let's see what's going to happen and how it's going to play out. So, again, folks, limited edition offer, 30 free days of Verve. You can catch up to every Dragon Ball Super dubbed episode. If you haven't seen it dubbed yet, you got to check out the dub. It's not perfect. There are some problems I have with it, but it's still a pretty good dub. And you also can check out other anime on Verve, such as My Hero Academia. Every episode's on there. Every Yu Yu Hakusho episode is on there. There's a new special coming for Yu Yu Hakusho, and if you haven't seen the series, you need to see the series. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball, you must watch Yu Yu Hakusho. So check out Verve, the official sponsors of the Super Review. I believe in that product so very much. It's owned by Crunchyroll, so you know it's legit. Thank you. Hope y'all have a great day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow for the preview breakdown of Vegeta versus Jiren in Super Episode 122 coming 2018.